We were planning on having a working dinner. Are you sure? It would benefit us if we could get through it. Do we have a bunch of proposed amendments? Oh, come on, we gotta have some fun here. Okay, let's do it. Okay, we're gonna go to law and licensing. Vice Chair, she was the Vice Chair through this, Lear, who's now the Chair. We'll turn the time over to you, and if we focus just on the actionable items, I think we can get through it.
Got it. Item 14.3, again, still. It is on external data requests.
On 14.2?
14.3.
3, okay.
No.
It was put on the consent.
On the consent calendar, never mind. 14.4. It was, yes, on the consent. It was on the consent. 14.4 then. The committee moves, this is just a repeal of the school R277-402 School Readiness Initiative, which was made unnecessary by recent legislation because it was sent to the Department of Workforce Services, the program was. So the motion is that the committee moves that the board repeal R277-402 School Readiness Initiative on second and final reading.
Okay, the motion before the board is that the board repeal R277-402 School Readiness Initiative on second and final reading. Discussion to the motion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Voting was unanimous.
Item 14.5, similar issue, R277-711, High Quality School Readiness Expansion. Same issue, move this to Workforce Services. The motion for the board is that the committee moves that the board repeal R277-711, High Quality School Readiness Expansion on second and final reading.
Okay, the motion before the board is that the board repeal R277-711 High Quality School Readiness Expansion on second and final reading. Not seeing any discussion, so let's vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Voting was unanimous.
Item 14.6, there are two motions. The first motion for the board is, this is the teacher salary supplement amendments related to SB 208, National Board Certification, incentive amendments, change the provisions. Staff's proposing updating the rule based on the new legislation, renumbering the rule within the licensing rule numbering system. So the first motion for the board is that the committee moves the board approve R277-318 Teacher Salary Supplement Program Draft 1 on second and final reading.
Okay, the motion before the board is that the board approve R277-318 Teacher Salary Supplement Program Draft 1 on second and final reading.
Second motion for the board.
Hold on, let's vote on.
Oh.
Let's vote on it.
Oh, it says draft 1. Draft. Oh, okay.
What is it?
This said draft 1.
Okay,
So I just
let
took
me
it as it's
let me
worded.
restate the motion so we know what we're voting on.
Should I restate
The
it?
motion before the board is that the board approve R277-318 Teacher Salary Supplement Program Draft 2 on second and final reading. Discussion to the motion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Voting was unanimous. Okay, then you have another motion.
Yes, the second motion was, Board Member Davis raised the issue of the timing of the application, and I don't remember your exact issue, Cindy, but our motion was that the committee would ask that the board direct staff to work with the legislator to open a bill file on this program to change, and I'm assuming it was the date of the annual application requirement. And if you want more information, Board Member Davis could probably remember.
Okay.
We
Board
were
Member
actu-
Davis.
We were actually going to postpone that because the charter board chair asked me to come to their meeting in August and I tried to get feedback from her, and I'm going to go to their directors to get feedback, so we postponed that till September.
Okay.
Angie?
What Board Member Davis is referring to was 14.2, which was tabled. That rule was tabled. This motion is, as Travis was presenting on the National Board Certified in the TSSP program, the statute states there has to be an annual application. So if you're a teacher who teaches science who qualifies for the TSSP stipend, right now statute states you have to do an application, reapply every year. What we'd like to do is ask the legislature to change that in code. So once you apply, as long as you qualify, you don't have to reapply every year.
Makes sense.
That's what the motion is to open a bill file to change the annual application requirement for
Which-
TSSP.
Which might be negotiable depending on what happens and that, so that's why you don't want to tie it.
Right.
It's just to
and
open the bill file and start
Just to
the
open the bill
discussion.
file, and then we, of course, will bring it back to you if and when the legislature gets it drafted.
Perfect.
Okay, so the motion before the board is to direct staff to work with the legislator to open a bill file on this program to change the annual application requirement. Discussion to that motion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Voting is unanimous.
I'll add it.
Okay, 14.7.
Because this was a changing, we changed the numbering on this, we need to repeal the old rule, which was numbered differently. So the committee moves that the board repeal R277-523 on second and final reading, which was the old rule.
Okay, the motion before the board is that the board repeal R277-523 on second and final reading. Discussion to the motion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Voting is unanimous.
Item 14.8, this is R277-504, early childhood, elementary, secondary, special ed, K-12, and preschool special ed, birth through 5, age 5, licensure, amendment, and continuation. So, the motion for the board, the committee passed this unanimously. The committee moves the board approve the continuation and amendments of R277-504, early childhood, elementary, secondary, special ed, K-12, and preschool special ed, birth through age 5, licensure, draft 1 on second and final reading.
Okay, the motion before the board is that the board approve the continuation and amendments of R277-504, early childhood, elementary, secondary, special education, K-12, and preschool special education, birth to age 5, licensure, draft 1 on second and final reading. Discussion to the motion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Voting is unanimous.
Item 14.9, this was a discussion about R277-713, which is about concurrent enrollment. If you recall, there was a bill, legislative action last year, HB 146, that broadened the opportunities for concurrent enrollment, and so this rule reflects those changes. The motion for the board is that we recommend the board approve R277-713, concurrent enrollment of high school students in college courses, draft 1 on second and final reading.
Okay, the motion before the board is that the board approve R277-713, concurrent enrollment of high school students in college courses, draft 1 on second and final.
Hold the phone a second. And then we're just talking and briefly, as I recall from that bill, it moved, did it move the age opportunities down to 8th grade? Or is it
Ninth and
just
10th.
Ninth and 10th, so high school, what about if 9th graders are in junior high?
So it just, Chair?
Yes,
apologize.
please.
Thank you. So previously in statute, eligible student was defined as a 11th or 12th grader, and then 9th and 10th graders could participate in concurrent enrollment if they applied and got an exception. The statute changed to it was just a change to the definition of eligible student, now allows 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade students all to participate in concurrent enrollment without having to apply for a waiver or an exception.
So it seems to me that that you could have 9th graders in junior high who would also be eligible. So maybe it should, the title of the rule, which maybe isn't part of the vote, as I'm recalling, could be secondary school students in college courses.
I guess you could say concurrent enrollment of secondary students in college courses. We could do
It
that.
could, but it. That would be more. Or 9 through 12 students. Just to not be misleading in the title of the rule. I don't want to nitpick, but.
How about you just take out high school? Should we
Yeah.
just eliminate high school?
Of age-appropriate students.
High school to me says 9 through 12.
Yeah,
So
if you think high school says that,
we're not changing, we're just changing the title here, so it's not confusing, so we're not getting into the body of the,
right.
of the rule.
Is it, does it seem unnecessary to you, or should we change
Well,
that?
I think it's good. You're right. I mean, it's fine. I would just make the motion to delete high school from the title of the rule,
Of
if you'd like.
students, okay.
Okay,
So the title would be concurrent enrollment of students in college courses.
Yep.
okay. Let me state this motion then. The motion before the board is that the board approve R277-713, concurrent enrollment of students in college courses, draft 1 on second and final reading. That'll be a motion before the board
With the amendment to.
as amended.
As amended.
Well, it's not having a title.
That's a new amendment.
Yeah,
Well, it's not
So-
going to have a new, it's just going to change the name.
Yeah, that you got it. That's got
Right.
it.
So as amended.
Yeah, that has to be
I-
amended.
As amended, okay? Okay. The motion before the board, again, is to approve R277-713, concurrent enrollment of students in college courses, draft 1 on second and final reading as amended. Discussion to the motion, Board Member Belknap?
Thank you. I'm just wondering if in that committee, there was any discussion on opportunities for students all over the state through the statewide online education program to do concurrent enrollment?
Not this time.
not that I recall. It wasn't a very lengthy discussion. We mostly just stuck with the changed requirements in the law. I think that's worth discussing.
Okay, not seeing any further discussion, so let's vote. Again, the motion for the board is that the board approve R277-713, concurrent enrollment of students in college courses, draft 1 on second and final reading as amended. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Voting is unanimous.
Last item, almost lost. Item 14.10. This is a discussion of R277-928, high-need school amendments. It is it's a new rule based on a new law by our very own Kathleen Reeve, Senator, in SB 115. A moment of silence. The motion for the board is that the committee recommends that the board approve R277-928, high-need school amendments, draft 1, on second and final reading.
Okay, the motion before the board is that the board approve R277-928, high-need school amendment, draft 1 on second, final reading. Discussion to the motion. Board Member Earl?
Yes, and the rule fits the law. I just would like us, as we go forward this next year, to kind of look and see if there needs to be some adjustments to this, to get some teachers that are qualified into these high-need school and rewarding them. They don't have to be veteran 20-year teachers, but just the concern over putting first-year teachers in. That's all. If we can just look at that going forward, so.
Okay. I'm not seeing any further discussion. The motion before the board is to approve R277-928, high need school amendment, draft 1 on second and final reading. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed? Voting was unanimous.
Oh, I do have a couple more.
You have one.
One
you-
more, I lied.
You have one more.
Misled you. Item 14.12, this is a board policy, must have been why I forgot. Board Policy 1004, advisory groups. The motion for the board is that the committee recommends the board approve Board Policy 1004, advisory group, draft 3.
Okay, the motion before the board is that the board approve Board Policy 1004 Advisory Group, Draft 3. Not seeing any discussion to the motion, let's vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Voting is unanimous. Please continue.
Yeah, it was fast. That's
You're
all.
done?
That's all she
Ooh.
wrote.
Okay,
The fat lady sang.
okay, board members, our schedule's kind of, we're way behind.
Oh, yeah.
Our intent was to have a working dinner, so board, item number 15, the legislative session preparation, we're going to put off till later,
Definitely.
later in the day, but we are going to go into what we call a working dinner. So I'm going to ask board members, this is a time that you can catch up on phones or whatever, but as soon as we can get our dinner
Reconvene.
and come back in here, we're going to take advantage of while we're eating and go into executive session.